You have probably used Claude Code or Cursor or one of these AI coding tools, and I would bet you picture it like a really smart autocomplete. You ask it, it answers. That's not what happening under the hood. It is not one AI replying to you. It's a system running a loop, making decisions, using tools, even spinning up other AIs to help it. Here's the part that matters. Once you actually see that how that loop works, two things happen. You get a lot better at using it, and you realize you are looking at how every AI agent works, which means you could build one yourself. So let me open it up. So what actually happens when you give it a task? Say, fix this bug. It doesn't just spit out an answer, it runs a loop. First it looks at your request and decides where to start. Open the file where the bug is. So it reads the file, then looks at it, what it finds, and decides the next move. It runs the test, it runs them and sees which one is failing. So it decides again, edit this line and make the changes. Then it runs the test one more to time check, and this time they pass, done. That's really all it is. Every agent is built on this exact cycle. Look at the situation, take one action, see what happened, decide the next action. There is nothing magic about it. It's a loop with a very smart decision maker in the middle. How you engineer that loop, how it decides, handle errors, knows when to stop, that's a whole craft on its own. I'll do a full video just on that. But that loop has a problem. Every time it goes around the loop, all of that piles up in the model's context. Every file it read, every command it ran, every result it got. And the context is just the stuff the model can actually see at once. And it has a limit. Go long enough and fills up, the agent starts forgetting what it did earlier or gets slower and pricier. And that slower and pricier part is the own big topic. Token economics. I'll cover that separately too. So how does Claude Code handle a task that takes hundreds of steps without drowning? Two ways. First, it uses file as its memory instead of holding everything in its heads. It writes things down to files and reads them back when it needs them, the way you would use a notepad. Second, when the history gets too long, it compacts it, summarizes what happened so far into a shorter version, and keeps going. That's how it gets through really long tasks without getting lost. And this is the really clever part. For a big task, the main agent doesn't do everything itself. It spins up sub-agents, smaller, fresher copies itself, each with its own clean context, each handed one job with a very specific thing. See, you ask it to track down a bug that could be front end, back end, or a database. Instead of wading through all three itself and clogging up its own context, it sends three sub-agents, one to each, to look at the same time. Each explodes on its own, then hands back a short summary. Here's what I found. Maybe thousands of words instead of the 10 of thousands it actually read through. The main agent gets clean summary, stays focused, and it's faster because they all ran at once. That's the trick. Split the work, keep each piece's context clean, and bring back only what matters. So why did I just walk you through all that? None of it is special to Claude Code. That loop, using file as memory, spinning up subagents to keep context clean. But that's basically how every serious AI agent works. So the moment you understand it, two things change. One, you get better at using these tools because now you know what they do, why it sometimes goes in circles, why it forgets things halfway through, why breaking a task into pieces actually helps. And the second one, the big one. Now you understand enough to build your own. An agent stops being a mystery to you. It's a loop, some tools, a way to remember things, and the judgment to decide what to do next. Understand that, and you are not just a user of consuming these tools, you can make them. So the next time you watch Claude Code work, don't see a black box, see the loop. Look, act, decide, repeat. See it writing to files to remember. See it sending out subagents and pulling back the summaries. Once you see the mission, you're not just guessing anymore. You can start building one yourself. That's the whole difference now between using AI and actually understanding it. If you want to go deeper, actually build this stuff from the ground up, that's what we do here. Follow along.